Hey guys, Peeler Travel Instructors. I know I'm not in front of the camera right now, but I did say I was going to do thermostats on this video. Bear with me, I have a couple lenses next to the thermostat here. I've got this here, so hopefully it's not too distracting. I'm going to move this over here for now. There. So, what you're looking at now is a Herpstat number 1. I don't think this is a Herpstat Basic. Herpstat 1 Basic. I'm thinking it's a Herpstat 1. I do have a basic in here. I think that's actually the one that's running my my incubator right now is a basic. So, Herpstats, I do think they're a little bit better as far as their functionality and quality and what you can do with them. They do work very, very well. I do like them a little bit more than Vivarium Electronics, but I do have Vivarium Electronics thermostats here in the room, so I do use both. So, the Herpstats, I do like them more mainly because I can be more precise in my temperature selection as far as dialing in my temperatures right down to like the 0.1 or 0.2% of a whatever I want it to be. Also, I can set alarms on the Herpstats. They have a high temperature alarm where you set a temperature. If it goes past that, it starts alarming. It also has a low temperature, set the low temp. If it goes below that, it starts alarming, starts beeping really loud. It's really annoying, but I'm glad it's annoying because then you know they're coming up. That the temperatures are off on one or more of your thermostats. They make Herpstat also makes the Herpstat 2, which I have in here in the room as well. And they also make a 4, which I don't have, and a 5, or not a 5, I'm sorry, a 6. They make a 6. The 6 has actually 6 probe points, plugins for your heat to run 6 different heat elements. Heat tape, heat mats, whatever you're running off that particular section, or that particular probe or plugin. Or zone, I guess you could call it. Herpstat 1s are just your basic one probe, one heat element plug-in, and of course there's only one power cord on all of them, but they are all interchangeable. Your probes and your power, or your heat tape and your power cords are all interchangeable. I can take this thermostat off here, take the thermostat off my incubator and plug this one into my incubator, and it's going to work just like the one on my incubator is working right now. I have to change temperatures back to the point to where I want them, because I have the temperature set at 89.6 on the Herpstat that I have running my incubator right now. Another cool feature on these Herpstats is you can set the power, your max power. You can set them to run at like 100% power, so it can heat all the way up to the maximum level of heat. And that's how it'll heat up your rack or your enclosure. Or you can set it to a lower percentage. I actually have this one, I think, is set at 75% of full power, and my rack or my incubator thermostat is set to 40% of max power. So the 40% will gradually rise that temperature instead of jumping all the way to 100 degrees. Because once it hit 100%, and then it's going to run at max power to get you to that set point temperature, and it's probably going to climb a degree or two higher for a short amount of time, and I don't want that to happen for my eggs. So, but yes, real easy to use, pretty basic. You have your menu, click into your menu, it automatically goes to output number 1, that's all this one has, is output number 1 is your configuration, system setup. Security passcode. These you can actually set up with a password so nobody else can mess with them, or only people that have your passcode. Safety setup, and your exit. Hit the menu button again to enter, and it goes back to your original screen. Now, when you're in the menu on the Herpstats and the Vivarium Electronics, they do stop heating. So keep that in mind, so you're not in your menu for 25 minutes trying to figure stuff out. It won't be heating your rack or your enclosure while you're in the menu. As soon as you jump out of the menu, it will jump in and start heating again. Because just in that short amount of time, this says it dropped to 98.2 degrees. I have it set at 99. Yes, that's set a little high. I know it is, but it keeps my rack to the temperature I want it to be at. My rack on the very bottom section is 89, 90 degrees. The top, 92 to 93 degrees. Don't want to be anything more than 95 degrees. 95 degrees is way too hot. So it's keeping it right in that little bit of a sweet spot, because your heat tape is funny. The part closest to the plug-in, to where it plugs into the power, so it plugs into your thermostat, is going to stay warmer than your piece that's farther away from that point. So you want to set your thermostat to a temperature to keep your bottom, the piece that's usually furthest away from your plug-in, to the right temperatures, to as close to the 90 degrees point that you want it to be. Whether it's a little bit more than that or a little bit lower than that. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. You want your temperature inside the tub on top of the substrate to be 90 degrees, not 90 degrees at the heat tape underneath the substrate, underneath the tub. You want your enclosure, your tub or whatever inside of it to be the temperature that you want it set at. Hopefully I'm making sense and I'm not confusing you guys too much, because I just confused myself. So hopefully I explained that pretty well. So that's Herpstat 1. Herpstats, like I said, they have the alarms. I like them. They work exceptionally well. They're a little bit pricey, but worth it. But if you're on a little bit more of a budget and you need to, maybe you don't have that extra 30 or 40 bucks to spend on a Herpstat, we're going to come over here and I'm going to change you guys again. Hopefully you guys don't get seasick, motion sickness. Look at my tripod. We're going to look at that thermostat right there after I get everything set back up again. There. And tighten the tripod. And do a little bit, mess with the focus a bit. Okay, this would be the equivalent to the Herpstat 1. This is a Vivarium Electronics 100. It has one probe, one plug-in for the heat tape, of course one power cord. Vivarium Electronics come in, their thermostats come in 100s, 200s. There's a 200 next to this one on the other rack there. And they also have a 300 times 2. I think there might even be just a 300, which only has one probe, one plug-in for heat. The 300 times 2 has 2 plug-ins for heat, 2 plug-ins for probes. That is the biggest one that they make. Whereas Herpstat went past that and made a 4, which has 4 different zones, and a 6, which of course has 6 different zones to run. So yes, now the Vivarium Electronics is pretty close to the same thing. This one though is just a simple on-off thermostat. It turns on when it needs to heat up, runs to the set point, turns off. Your temperature will go a degree or 2 higher than your set point. Then it'll stay off until it hits the set point, and then once it goes below the set point, it'll drop 1 or 2 degrees below, and then it'll turn back on. And it'll keep doing it on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, indefinitely until you don't use this thermostat anymore. And that'll keep your temperature as close to that set point as you can inside your tubs. That one's set at 94 degrees. I'm running it that way because, again, I want my inside temperatures in my tubs to be as close to 90 as I can throughout the rack. So that's why we're running it that way. So, Vivarium Electronics, pretty much the same thing. You got your menu, enter menu, daytime temp, night drop amount, then you set your time of day. I never set my time of day anymore because pretty much when I set my time of day, we lose power and it goes out. It doesn't keep your time of day. Losing power on any of these, they will keep temperature. They will keep your temperature set point. I can unplug that thermostat and leave it in here for a week, unplugged with no power, plug it back in and it'll still say my set point is 94 degrees. Same with the Herpstats. They do the same thing. Difference is Herpstats have the alarms. I like the alarms. But I do have Herpstats in here, so if you do lose power and the temperatures go down, they will alarm and at least let me know that, hey, something's wrong up here in the room, so I can come up and look, check all my thermostats then at that point. This one I was running, the Vivarium Electronic VE100s, I think are like 120. I think the Herpstats are running about $140. I don't have exact prices on these, I apologize. I was going to do notes, but I didn't. I forgot. I'm trying to get all my tax stuff together because that's going to get done today as well. So I kind of lost track of time. So I wanted to get this video done for you guys, and we're doing it right now. So that's what we're doing. Also, I do like the Vivarium Electronics 200. Let me tilt down on that one there. There's a 200. Looks identical, other than it's a 200. It does have a couple different features as well. This one I can run at on-off, dimming, or pulse. The Herpstat ones I can run at dimming or pulse. I don't think there's an on-off on that one. There might be. Yeah, I think there is an on-off on that one as well. That's your lowest. Your Herpstat one will run all three. Where your Vivarium Electronics 100 will only do on-off. Your Vivarium Electronics VE200 will do dimming, pulse, on-off, as well as your Vivarium Electronics 300s will also do the dimming, the pulse, and the on-off. Heating. I like dimming because it runs and it keeps your stuff rolling really well. I have this one here, this 200 set at dimming temperatures. It's set at 24%. It's running at 24% right now. Its set point is 97 degrees. The probe says it's 97 degrees. It's set at 24%. That'll drop off. If it starts to heat up past 97, it'll go down to like 0. So that's how thermostats work. They will heat up to the point you have it set, turn off. Or they'll do dimming to where they increase the power to get it up to that point and then decrease the power to get it to that point. Pulse, it just pulses. It turns on and off really, really rapidly to keep your temperature where you want it to be at. And then, of course, like I said, the on-off will turn on, get your temperature to where it needs to be, then turn off to get your temperature back down to where you know, or to stop going past your set point. You just keep turning on and off and do that constantly and definitely until you unplug it and not use it anymore. And then until you plug it back in. I'm going to move you guys a little bit again. We're going to set you guys up and I'm going to show you a thermostat that I've had for absolutely ever in here. Or I've had forever. It's my very first thermostat that I ever bought. I still have it. I still actually use it quite often. No, not quite often. It's now my quarantine rack thermostat. But I've used it on many, many, many different enclosures. It's been on dozens of enclosures over the course of the last 15 years or so. That's pretty much how long I've actually had it. It's about that long. So, how's my focus looking? The top of my head's not looking real well because you can't see it. There. And I'm actually going to zoom back out again. I've got you zoomed all the way in. There we go. Focus. There. Nice and sharp. All right. So, this thermostat is a Zilla thermostat. It is a simple dial on-off thermostat. I've had this thing forever. Like I said, it's been like 15 years or so that I had it. Bought it, I think, from LLL Reptiles in California back in the day when I bought my first enclosure for Tazzy, my blood python, which I got him in 2008. Yeah, about 2008. 2007, I think I got Tazzy. It's only got a simple 2-prong plug-in for your heat tape. It doesn't have the 3-prong with the for the ground wired plug-ins. It has a simple 2-prong plug-in for your wall. It's got a 6-foot power cord, a 6-foot probe cord. The probe's huge. It still works very well though. It's bigger than most other probes that you can find these days. Doesn't have a digital readout. It's got a green light for when it's not running. It's got a red light for when it is running. The dial, pretty mediocre as far as your set points and exact temperatures. It's got Celsius on it. It's got Fahrenheit all the way up to 105 degrees Fahrenheit and 40 degrees Celsius set on here. So whatever temperature you're using. Here we use Fahrenheit. Right now I have it set at like 95 degrees because that's what I was using it on in the quarantine rack the last time I used it. but the room was a little chilly, so I had it set a little bit higher. Works. Potential spam. Phone was ringing. Got a really crude hook on it so you can hang it from the wall. There you go. There's your hook. Like I said, I've used this thing. Oh, this thing's been used for hundreds of hours. And it still works. If I needed it right now, I could plug it in and use it for any of these racks in here as a backup thermostat until I was able to replace whatever thermostat needed to be replaced. It's a good starter thermostat. I don't know if they even make these anymore. I think they do make these still. But it is a good starting thermostat for you if you're not looking to spend a couple $100 on or $150 or over $100 on a thermostat, which I recommend you do. Thermostats are very, very important. You need them to run your enclosures. Do not just plug your heat tape straight in the wall. It's going to cook your animal. You don't want that to happen. Please don't do that. Please run a thermostat. And very, very important. It's probably the most important thing to your rack next to having a good enclosure and making sure it locks closed so your animal doesn't escape. Hopefully you guys saw the live stream on Sunday. If not, go check it out. I'm going to show off one of the girls that was in the live stream on Sunday. She's probably tired of me opening and closing this on her. This is a little Persephone. She more or less tried to get away while I had her around my neck and she took off. She's fine. She's not hurt. She is very, 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 very cantankerous. She's not cantankerous. I can't say that word. She's not trying to kill me, not trying to bite my arm off, not trying to bite my hand. She's a very sweet girl, and she just wanted to take off on me. And she did. She took off on me. But she's very, very, very cool, and she's very fine. And she is not trying to bite me. So she's not holding a grudge. She did not get hurt at all. So go check out the live. Please, go check out the live. Go hit the like button on the live. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please. Like I said in the live stream, we are working on some new stuff, some new merch. It is going to be cool. We do have a design picked out, I think. And I like the design. Of course, my lovely wife came up with it because she's the artist in the family. At least here. I can't draw for crap. I'm lucky if I can draw a box or a square. In my square. Oh, sorry guys, I just dropped the garbage can lid on you. My squares look like rectangles. So, I mean, yeah, if that tells you anything. All right, sweetie, I'll put you up. I promise I won't mess with you no more today. I do have some rats up here in the room. I do need to feed Azathoth and Helen and Grumpy Pants. I need to find a better name for him. I initially was not going to keep him. But since he has such a problem, or such an issue with eating, it's been 2 years now, 3 years now. He's never eaten on his own. So that's what I'm going to be doing off camera. Where am I at on time? Ooh, 18 and a half. So, thermostats, please, if you have any questions on stuff, I kind of just ran through quickly and explained kind of some of the features on the Herpstats and some of the features on the Vivarium electronics. And at the end of the day, it comes down to what you want to do. Do you want to buy the thermostat that is a Herpstat, or you want to buy a Vivarium electronics thermostat? I do know that Herpstats, as of right now, or as of over the weekend, I should say, they were all available. They do have some new ones now. They're called the Spiderweb. They are pretty much the same features, except you have the option to connect them to your phone and be able to check your temperatures wherever you are on your phone, because they hook up to the internet. And yeah, that's kind of a cool feature. They're a little bit pricey, but if you want to spend the money on them, I recommend you do that and go ahead and get one. The Vivarium electronics I'll look at right now and let you know exactly how much they are. Let me jump on here on my phone and get on the internet here and go to Reptile Basics. Basics, there we go, and look up thermostats. So they have the Vivarium Electronics VE1. They have the high power. Why is my phone like not doing anything? There we go. They have the 1, the 2. I believe they even have the 3x2 at Reptile Basics. And Let me see, products. Wow, I can't read today. Products, thermostats and accessories. There we go. So, price-wise, as far as your Vivarium electronic stuff is going to be, they have a VE rheostat. It's just a little dial on the plug for $24.99. The Vivarium electronics VE100, sub $100. You're looking at $89.99 at Vivarium electronics right now, minus taxes. 200 Vivarium electronics 200 is $119.99. Vivarium Electronics VE300 is $144.99, and which they do have. I wasn't sure if they had that in stock or not. They do have the VE Electronics 300 times 2 as well, which is the 2 zones for $199.99. So they do have the night drop modules. These a lot of the Vivarium Electronics ones come with a fuse. They have extra fuses, extra probes if you need them. Just about everything you need for that. So that's pretty much your prices. So sub $100, you're looking at a VE100. It's going to run you 90 bucks. And as we know, well, if you've never shopped at Herpstat basis, if you spend over $100, you do get free shipping. Shipping is usually $9.99, which you're saving 10 bucks if you can find something. I'd get a VE100 and maybe I don't know, 10-foot cord or 10-foot probe, extra 10-foot probe. Then you can run that. I mean, yeah, that'll get you over 100. Then, of course, what am I doing here? Oh, then, of course, Spider Robotics. All right, let me see. We're going to go to Spider Robotics LLC is what you need to go look at for the Herpstats. Herpstat 1, it's going to run you about 150 bucks. A 2, Herpstat 2 with 2 zones is $210. Herpstat 4 with 4 zones is $369. And a Herpstat 6 with the 6 zones on it is $480 bucks, $479. The Spiderweb, Herpstat 1 Spiderweb is $165. Spiderweb 2 is $235. The Spiderweb 4 is $409. And the Spiderweb 6 is $499. So it depends on what your budget is. If you're going to look sub $200 or sub $100, get the Vivarium Electronics VE100. It works. It's just a simple on-off thermostat, but it does work. It does the job. If you got a little bit more to spend, you can either get the VE200 or spend the extra little bit of money and get the Herpstat 1 for 150 bucks. That's thermostats, guys. I can talk thermostats all day long, but I'm not going to because I'm already past my time limit. And my battery light's flashing at me. So, as always, guys, please like, share, subscribe, hit the little bell notification, set it to all. Go check out the live stream. And, yes, I will see you guys in the next video, all right? If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Bye.